Okay, so just like usual, as I go through this, write down any work that I write on your paper, and then afterwards I'll go around and give you credit. This will also be a resource for your test tomorrow because it's open note, so you'll have a sample of all the types of questions that you could get on the test and how to do them. So the first one, it says find the circumference of the circle. You probably have that equation memorized, but if you don't, it is on this reference sheet. It shows two equations for circumference of a circle. We've been using this one, pi times diameter, but this one's also accurate because 2 times the radius is diameter. But we'll just keep it consistent. Circumference equals pi times diameter. On this image, it shows you radius is 4. So diameter would be double that all the way across, which is 8 yards. So in the equation, pi times 8. And then in the calculator, you can use 3.14 or pi. So 8 pi equals this. If you use 3.14, you'll get a similar answer. Sometimes the decimal will be a little bit off, but yes. Let's see. So let's put 25.1, and it's just yards. Circumference is just the distance around the circle. So the test will be multiple choice. So if the decimal's a little bit off, it's just because they use pi versus 3.14. Something to take note of is as these numbers get bigger, like when you're doing volume and stuff, it'll make the decimal off a little bit more than just like 100th. Sometimes it'll be off a little bit more, but it's just because of pi. Then number 2, it says the world's largest flower, don't know how to say that, is 91 centimeters in diameter. So, okay, 91 centimeters all the way across. Find the circumference of the flower to the nearest tenth. Okay, circumference is pi times diameter. They gave us the diameter is 91. Multiply those two numbers and you get 285.9. And it's a distance, so just centimeters. Okay, I guess this would be 3 and 4. Find the area of the circle. So this circle right here, it shows the radius is 7.1. Area of a circle, again, it's on the reference sheet. Area equals pi r squared. So area equals pi, the radius 7.1 squared. You have to use the order of operations, so you have to square that 7.1 first. 7 squared is 50.41. Then multiply that by pi, or 3.14, and you get 158.37. Okay, and then number 4, we're still finding area. This time they didn't give us a picture, they just said the diameter is this. But for area, we know we need radius. So the radius would be 9.4 divided by 2. So radius equals 4.7 millimeters. And then we have to plug that into this equation. So area equals pi 4.7 squared. .7 squared is 22.09. And this is the answer here. Okay, ready? Or no? Okay, waiting. Okay, number 5, it says find the area of the semicircle and round to nearest tenth. Semicircle would be half a circle. I know this isn't the greatest copy, but it shows that this side of the circle is shaded. So we're finding the area of just the shaded side. So for this, you would just find the area of the whole circle and then divide by 2 to find the area of just the shaded part. see the radius it shows is 3.8. Squared is 14.44. Then divide by 2. So you'd have to do pi times 14.44 and then divide by 2, and it comes out to 22.68 yards squared. Okay, the next couple questions, we're still using the equations for area and circumference, but this time they gave us area of a circle and we're finding radius. So we're using the same equation, but we're going to have to use it backwards to find radius. So area equals pi r squared. They're telling us the radius is 201.1. So 201.1. Also, I'm going to use this space down here just so you know. Equals pi r squared. And then, so I'm solving for r. I need to divide both sides by pi. So that way this cancels. 201.1 divided by pi is 64.01 equals r squared. Then take the square root of both sides and r equals 8.00. There's more decimals after this, but it rounds to this. The next question, number 7 at the top of the page, these are the instructions for it. Find the diameter and radius of a circle with a given circumference. So we're going to move up here. They gave us circumference and they want us to find the radius and the diameter of the circle. So circumference equals pi times diameter. They gave us c, which would be 21.2, and then we can find diameter, and then once we find diameter, we can find radius. So from here, divide both sides by pi. And diameter equals 6.75. And then for radius, just divide that by 2. 6.75 divided by 2 equals 3.37. So radius 3.37, diameter 6.75. Okay, 8 and 9, it says find the area of each shaded sector. So we're just finding the area of the shaded part of the circle. We're going to set up a proportion for this with degrees over degrees equals area over area. So the degrees of this sector is 37 degrees, and we put that over 360 degrees. And then we put that equal to part over whole for area. So area of sector over area of the whole circle. Okay, so area of the circle, I'm just going to solve that off to the side. Area equals pi r squared. The radius, 19 squared. Area equals 1,134.1 meters squared. And then that's going to get plugged in here into this equation. So we'll have 37 degrees over 360 degrees equals x over 1,134.1. Then from here, cross multiply this times this. 37 times 1,134 is 41,961.7. Solve for x, and x equals 116.56. And of course, always make sure that this number seems logical. The area of the whole thing was 1,134. 37 degrees is about a tenth of 360. So this should be about a tenth, which makes sense. So like a little over 100 makes sense for being a tenth of that whole area. Okay, then number 9, same kind of question. This time the shaded area is a lot bigger. It shows the non-shaded area is 8 degrees, so therefore this whole shaded area would be 360 minus 8 degrees equals 352 degrees. So this whole shaded area is 352 degrees. So setting up the same proportion, 352 degrees now over 360 degrees equals x, the shaded part, over the total area of that circle. Then area of the circle, I'll find that over here. Radius is 6. Okay, so then this goes here, 113.097. And then cross multiply. And x equals 110.58 inches squared. And so that's the area of all the shaded part. Again, check for whether it's realistic. The area around the whole thing is 113. It's saying the shaded part is 110, so that makes sense that it would be a little bit less than the area of the whole thing. And it gets easy again with the next one. Area of each trapezoid, rhombus, or kite. We didn't do trapezoid, so that's not going to be on there. Rhombus and kite, use the equation area equals diagonal 1 times diagonal 2 divided by 2. So area equals, and these would be the diagonal 1, diagonal 2, and it shows us that length there. So just 11 times 34, and then divide by 2. And so the area of this would be 187 centimeters squared. Okay, the next 3 I only did with my honors last year. It's not on the test. If you want me to show you how to do them one-on-one, great, but I'm not going to stress about it. Okay, and then over here, top of the next column, write the equation of each circle. So equation of a circle, I'm going to use some of this space up here. Equation of a circle was x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. And the center was h and k, and then r is the radius. Remember, the subtraction symbol is part of the equation, not part of the coordinate. actual center. Okay, so write the equation of this circle here. So the center, this would be h and k. So it would be x minus -7 squared plus y minus that y coordinate squared equals the radius squared. Then there's a couple of things that we need to do to simplify this to make it match like what would be in the answer choices. So the double negative is going to turn to plus. So this will be x plus 7 squared. Y minus 11 squared stays the same. And then 8 squared would be 64. So this is what you would be looking for in the answer choices. Then 15, for each circle with a given equation, state the coordinates of the center and the measure of the radius. Then graph the equation or identify the graph. For this one, we're just going to put the constant on the other side so that way it's in the right format. So add 4 to both sides, we get x squared plus y squared equals 4. And then the center of the circle, because this doesn't have x plus or minus anything and y plus or minus anything, that means the center is at the origin or 0, 0. And then the radius, we have to take the square root of this number. So the radius would be 2, r equals 2. And then when you identify the graph, you're looking for a circle with the center at 0, 0 and a radius of 2. Okay, next one. Okay, the next one, or the next two, has to do with arc length. Find the arc length. Arc length is a similar equation to over here, except for you're dealing with arc length and circumference. So find the arc length of a circle with a radius of 21. So that means the diameter would be 42 and a central angle of 30 degrees. So the setup for this would be 30 degrees over 360 degrees equals arc length over circumference of the whole circle, circumference. So part over whole equals part over whole, arc over the perimeter of the whole circle. We need to find circumference to plug into this equation. Circumference is pi times diameter, pi times 42, which is 131.9. And then we will plug that in here. So we got 30 over 360 equals x over 131.9. 360x equals, so I'm cross multiplying. 30 times 131.9 is 3957. Then divide both sides by 360, and x equals 10.99. I know, not enough space on that one. Okay, then 17, same type of problem. Radius of a circle is 7. What is the length of a 90-degree arc? So you're finding the distance of just this part of the circle. So again, 90 degrees over 360 degrees equals arc length over the area of the circle. Or not area, sorry, circumference of the circle. Circumference is pi times diameter. So pi times 14. What's that? Oh. then cross multiply. For whatever reason, these come out to almost the same answer. Total coincidence. Okay. And then the last three have to do with population density. So number 2, calculate the population density of Nepal. So population density equals number of people over the area. Sometimes people are referred to like the population in a given area. That would be the number of people. And so for this, it says the population in Nepal is 28 million. The land area is this many kilometers. So we'd set it up. Population density equals 28,100,000 people divided by the area, 147,000 kilometers squared. Divide these two numbers and you get 191.16 people per kilometer squared. And that's your population density. Okay, number 19, calculate the population and density of Monaco. Given the population of Monaco is this much and the land area is this much. Okay, well, for population, we need to change this into something we can put in the calculator. 3.87 times 10 to the 4th. You move the decimal over 4 times 1, 2, 3, 4. And then just fill in zeros into those two hoop things. And then we get 38,700 people. 38,700 people divided by 2 kilometers squared, the area. And it comes out to this number, 193,500. Then in the problem, it says 3 significant figures. So what that means is it needs 3 digits of value, and then the rest fill in with zeros. So 3 significant digits would be these first 3. So that would be 1, 9, and then this last digit right here rounds up or down based on the number next to it. So it would round up to 4. And then you fill in zeros for the rest. So 194,000. And the unit for that would be people per kilometer. People per kilometer squared. Okay, number 20, last one. About 1.75 million people live in a circular region, okay, with a 15-mile diameter. Okay, circular region, 15-mile diameter. To find the area of a circle, though, we need pi r squared, so the radius would be 7.5 miles, half of 15. So area equals pi 7.5 squared. .25 pi 176.71 is the area, miles squared. And so for population density, we need people divided by the area. So the people, 1.75 million, 1,750 divided by the area, and we get 9903.23 people per mile squared. So for every square mile, there's 9,903 people. Okay. And that is all.